Good morning guys, I'm sure you can see what's in the background. So today we'll be getting to drive the new 992 Carrera S and the Carrera 4S. We'll be taking turns in those cars. So I was told that there's about 40 minutes to 1 hour of highway driving, and then for the rest of the day it's just pure back roads. Oh my god, I can't wait to try them out. Update you soon. So check out the cars that we'll be driving, man. This is my designated car. Check out the number plate, 992 911. How cool is that? Okay, so we were told yesterday in the product presentation that this is how you distinguish the 911s with the sport exhaust system. The conventional ones will come with twin exhaust tips. These ones all come with single exhaust exits. So that's the easiest way to tell if the new 911 has the optional sports exhaust system. So we just left our hotel in Sofitel, Auckland. Straight off the bat, man, getting into the car, coming out from the hotel entrance, immediately I noticed how easy it was to get into the car and just start driving. It is just so typical of a 911, that's the beauty of it. And coming out of the hotel as well, man, like we had to make a really sharp U-turn. You notice how easy it is to maneuver the car. Visibility wise, quite easy to look out of. Turning radius especially, like it was quite a tight U-turn and the car just made the U-turn effortlessly. So we just got on the highway. We're doing about 80-90 kilometers an hour. Apparently it's very strict here in New Zealand. 100 kilometers an hour is the fastest you can go. Maybe 5 kilometers more than that, 105 kilometers an hour, you will still get away with it. But 110, that's when you start getting into trouble. Any faster than 110, you get pulled over, license taken. I was told some cases even as severe as getting your cars crushed. I mean, dude, us guys were really lucky in Malaysia, man. You know, we get to drive up to like 200, you know, cops get stopped us, and then you know the usual procedure if that ever happens. So anyways, first impressions of the car. Wind noise, man. You know, obviously because this is a grand tourer, you're supposed to be able to drive this car really hard, really long. Wind noise inside here, I would say quite minimal. Sitting position is very comfortable, very typical of a Porsche. The instrument clusters, the controls really surround the driver. Everything is within reach, very accessible. As for throttle response, as we have had to overtake some cars along the highway, the gearbox, they've given you one extra gear. It's now an 8-speed PDK. Every slight input of the throttle, man, you feel the car reacting to it. Slightest input, you feel the gears dropping. So responsive. You know, it's so easy to gauge the response of the car as well. So in a sense that this being a sports car, quite a powerful sports car, you won't get the power delivery like frightening you all of a sudden, you know, like in the, say, the Ferraris and whatnot. You know, all of a sudden you get this crazy surge and then, you know, you just like have to cling on to your steering. But no, not in this. It's actually very docile, I would say. It can be very docile if you want it to be. We are on the highway now. We have about another half an hour to go before we hit the back roads. I can't wait to tell you how the car feels on the twisty bends, man. But as for now, unfortunately, not really able to test out the full performance of the car. You know, with 450 horsepower and 530 Newton meters of torque. That's a 30 horsepower increase and 30 Newton meters of torque increase, primarily from the revised turbocharger flows. They're now more efficient, and also the relocated intercoolers. Having driven for about 2 hours out of Auckland, we have arrived at this really remote winery, very beautiful place. While everyone's having their lunch, I decided to skip that for a bit and take you guys on a walk around this car. So let's start with the front. These flaps right here, the front bumper on both ends, are by far the biggest difference to the front end of the car. So under 70 kilometers an hour, these things are completely open. At 70 kilometers an hour and above, they are shut for reduced drag, better aerodynamics and all that. at 170 kilometers an hour and above, they're opened again, you know, for better cooling and all that kind of stuff. Over here, this particular Carrera 4S models, you get these optional wheels. Very, very beautiful. I think they look the best among all the options available. Okay, for the first time in the 911, you get 20-inch wheels in the front, 21-inch wheels at the back. Also for the first time, whether it's in a Carrera 4S or Carrera S, you get this really sexy hips that you usually find only in the Carrera 4S. But now, even if you buy the 911 Carrera S, you get this wide body look, which I think it's the signature look for 911, something that everyone wants. I mean, especially nowadays when you're looking at people modifying their old 911s to like the RWBs and whatnot to wide bodies. So I guess you can tell from that alone the appeal of the wide body. I mean, just look at the car from this angle. Doesn't it look good? I mean, you can say the 911 looks similar throughout all the generations, but it just somehow manages to look sleeker and sleeker with every generation. Look at that sloping roofline, man. Will you ever get bored of it? Now, moving in closer, you get redesigned side mirrors, obviously for better aerodynamics. The new part about this car is also this flush door handles. Very unconventional, you can almost say very un-911-like. It may sort of anger some enthusiasts, I'm not sure, but I suppose the new generation of 911's owners or buyers would probably appreciate that. Check that out. It pops up. That's cool. When you lock it, it will just go back flush. So as for the back, like I said earlier, the intercoolers have been relocated, right? So before, they used to sit in this area on both sides of the bumper. Now it sits just underneath this new rear air vent. So you have wind flowing from the top here, going in, channeling straight to the intercoolers for better cooling efficiency. And then you have the air coming out from here towards here, the side. Very cool, very German, very Porsche if you ask me. The other thing I really like about the back end is, aside from this strip of light that runs across the back, is this Porsche badge. From this angle, check it out, man. I really like the 3D effect. I know it's very fake, it's very vain, but you know, nowadays, especially with aesthetics being a priority to most people, I think that's a hell of a looker, don't you think? So the other thing I really don't like, this is the one thing I don't like about modern sports cars, or you can even say modern 911s, is this. This is technically your rear bonnet, alright? I'm gonna open it up and let you have a look at the magic inside. Okay, this is how you open it, right? I might as well open the front as well for you to have a look at the space. Okay, so behold the magic of the 3-litre flat 6. Bam! That's all you see nowadays. I'm paying like more than $750,000, I suppose. Is that all I can show to my friends? 2 fans? Come on. I mean, I don't know what most modern 911 owners think about this, but it's just more appealing if I can pop the hood and have a look at the engine and all that. It's just a really nice feeling. Towards the front, you get a latch underneath here. Open it. Look at the boot space, man. I mean, people always argue that, you know, the design is wrong, having the engine at the back is wrong, but you know, as a result, this is what you get. Look at how deep that thing is. I can literally sit inside, crouch, and close the bonnet. That's how spacious it is. If you ask me in terms of, you know, how much you can accommodate, perhaps you can stack 3 cabin-size luggages horizontally. That's plenty enough luggage, man. Like plenty enough of space for you to carry your stuff. Getting in here. So, RPM meter in the middle, signature 911. But towards the sides here, you now get 2 additional displays on the right side, another 2 on the left. You get a new steering wheel design, new-ish I suppose, like I said earlier. But now you get like additional buttons here. So if you've seen the Panameras, the Cayennes, the Macans, this is a very similar interface. These are new, right? Obviously for traction control, to adjust your dampers, different individual settings. This aircon vent position is new though. It's been lowered. Before this, it's much higher, I suppose, to accommodate the screen now. The other big difference is this little knob here. Before this, it was like a big chunky sort of gear lever. Now it's just this little tab, nipple-like thing. If you ask me, it's not that big a deal, especially if you opt for the automatic, because I mean, you're literally just gonna put it to N or D or R and you're not really gonna touch it a lot, so it really doesn't matter to me. So, another observation. Because this is the Carrera 4S, so there are Carrera S's and Carrera 4S's. We happen to get the Carrera 4S, and the Carrera 4S comes with the rear wheel steering. Exiting the highway, before we reach this back road, we've had to go through like tons, like many roundabouts, and they're really narrow, really tight turns. And I hope I'm not exaggerating, this car just handled it like a hatchback, man, if you ask me. And like we're on these twisty bends now, way the car reacts to your steering inputs, man. Like, I mean, they've made some improvements on the steering rack. Supposedly, some 11% quicker than the 991. And man, I can tell you, like, it's very cliche to say this, but it's almost telepathic. Like, people have said this many times about various other 911s, perhaps the GT3 RS, the GT2 RS and all, but this being just the 911, God, the reaction of the steering is amazing. People always say that Porsche is damn lazy for, you know, sticking with the same design and all that. But here's another train of thought. I believe it's actually harder to make a new car with the same design, you know? So that just means that you are not actually able to come up with more drastic designs, crazy looks. The challenge is to fine-tune the car, and that's what Porsche has been doing this whole time. So we just hopped out of the 4S after lunch, and now we are in the Carrera S, the rear-wheel driven model. First things first, instantly, man, notice the steering feels lighter, the car feels lighter, feels less cumbersome, especially at low speeds. Moving from a standstill, the car feels a lot more lighter on its foot, less cumbersome. I suppose obviously because of the lack of the all-wheel drive system, so perhaps lesser components, the car feels lighter. But I think the most obvious difference with this car is how it reacts, how it gets off the line when you're absolutely gunning it, going at full throttle. It just feels so much more eager. You feel so much more of that forward surge. Frankly, if you ask me, I'd rather take this model, to be very honest. I understand the merits of the all-wheel drive, the rear-wheel steering system and all that, but hey man, if you ask me personally, if you want the pure 911 experience, rear-wheel drive is the only way to go. And hey man, I mean, if you are concerned about fuel efficiency and all that, I'm pretty sure this one does better mileage than the all-wheel drive model. But aside from that, honestly, at first glance, I really can't tell the difference. Like I said earlier, even the Carrera S now comes with a wide body. So for those of y'all who used to look into the Carrera 4S solely because you want the wide body, hey man, guess what? Good news. Now you can spend a lot less money and still get that wide body, which I feel like it's one of the most biggest, if not the biggest appeal of a 911. So as you can see, we're parked right outside the hotel. Our day has ended, and my god, what an incredible, unforgettable day. We got to try the new Carrera S, the new Carrera 4S, and despite having the same wide body, what different cars they are. I really can't wait to share more with you. Hopefully, eventually, when the car comes to Malaysia and Porsche Malaysia lends us for a day or two. This is me signing off. Thank you so much, Porsche Malaysia. I'll see you again soon.